me one thing that you feel I can improve on that would be better for my well-being, and I'll do the same for you, and I want you to tell me how my feedback makes you feel. Oh, I love it. Okay.
And here, these YouTube videos, they'll all tell you that women don't hold each other accountable. Sound like a whole bunch of accountability going on in this thing right here. So shout out to Tanisha Talks. This is why I gotta say you need to be following her. At least if you don't want to follow her, then at least be watching her videos, because conversations like this between women are so important for our community. Again, one of the negative stereotypes is, well, women don't hold each other accountable. Okay, so then start highlighting it when they do. Don't just keep it off camera or hidden, No, we need to start having these conversations out in the open, because ultimately, welcome back to Money, Marriage, and Media. And today we've got the latest from Tanisha Talks. Women can't handle criticism, holding friends accountable. Let's go.
I take this stuff personal. Like, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. It gives me a different type of outlook on people. Like, my sister told me I can be like too judgmental. So now, like, I took evaluation and self-reflecting. Like, let me not put my views on people. Let me just accept people for who they are.
Finding that balance where you're self-reliant and you're providing yourself with whatever it is that you need, but also being able to be courteous or give grace to other people.
Yes.
Because I feel like when I'm operating in one dynamic, it's hard for me to go into the other, right? So if I'm being super cognizant of other people and I'm being considerate of their flaws and things like that, then there might be some things within myself that are unfulfilled, or I really feel like I wish I was more respected in this area, but okay, I'll compromise because I'm accepting that person.
Oh yeah, I'll be compromising, like, hey. That's why I can't be in a romantic relationship, because I'll be walked all over. I'll be a whole doormat, because just my nature is to please, and my nature is to, like, surrender. Even though I hate the word submit, I would naturally just submit, because I don't like battles. Like, I don't like to argue.
Wait a minute, let me get this straight. So she's naturally feminine, naturally submissive, but she doesn't want to be in a relationship because of it. Now that's interesting. Remember, I said this before, is that a lot of times we have a generation of women who have grown up to fear the very men in the community. I don't think they do it on purpose. I think it's just been ingrained in them. And don't get me wrong, guys do the same thing. This is where you get the whole, let's keep going, because I think we may have something here.
If you want to fight, if you want to argue, you got it. I don't even do it. That's why I know it's in romantic relationships not for me, because I would just be a doormat.
Do you feel like that's why submission is a trigger word for you?
Like, I naturally respect people. Like,
that is what that is. So it's literally based in fear. But a lot of times I think that where that stems from is, fear of being with the wrong guy and he taking advantage of her. It's a warranted fear, because those things do happen, especially when, the vetting process is broken in our community. So, I mean, it's a rational fear. What that leads to a life of, though, I don't know. I can't say it would be worth it. So, let's keep going.
I'm not a confrontational person. Like, I do not pick a fight. You feel me? You know how people be picking a fight and just want to argue? That's just not me. So
if you do it naturally, why is it a trigger word for you?
Because it's like, it sounded like you want to be put on a pedestal. You feel like you want to be inferior of somebody. And that's just definition. Like, the definition saying, like, you have to, like, yield to someone else. And I think the only person, for me personally, I just need to be submissive to is God. That word, like, what the heck? Who?
She thinks that, but that's not how she naturally acts. Does that mean that, which is the real her? I don't know. Maybe it's, she's fighting what her natural instincts are to become something that she hasn't fully mastered yet. I don't know.
Just made up that word.
I just had to understand because it's like it sounds like you naturally do it.
Yeah, naturally. Yeah.
So what about the word has given you a negative connotation where it's like inferiority?
Girl, I'm literal.
Great question.
Okay.
I Google stuff. What does this word mean? Tomato. What does this word mean? I was like, nah. I understand like the programming and the brainwashing they put a lot of women under, like to feel like I need you to listen to me. I just naturally listen, like, but I will talk back, like, but you don't want people to talk back. You don't want people to it sounds like you don't want people to have like a point of view or to like lead themselves or to like be identified or just to have their own freedom. And I'm like really huge on freedom. You already know.
Tell me one thing that you feel I can improve on. That would be better for my well-being, and I'll do the same for you, and I want you to tell me how my feedback makes you feel.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
And here, these YouTube videos, they'll all tell you that women don't hold each other accountable. Sound like a whole bunch of accountability going on in this thing right here. So shout out to Tanisha Talks. This is why I gotta say you need to be following her. At least if you don't want to follow her, then at least be watching her videos, because conversations like this between women are so important for our community. Again, one of the negative stereotypes is, well, women don't hold each other accountable. Okay, so then start highlighting it when they do. Don't just keep it off camera or hidden, No, we need to start having these conversations out in the open, because ultimately, if we're going to start talking about building, then there has to be self-improvement on both sides. But, the narrative out there, the negative stereotype out there is women don't improve. They just are. But we have a prime example of, hey, tell me what I'm doing wrong so that I can go back and I can start to work on it. Let's keep going.
So, not centering like dating and romance and men in your life. Like, just be the woman you are for you, not for anybody else. Like how you just even took this whole solo journey for yourself. Go off of your own impulse. Go off of what you feel is right, not by what society's pressure. What really did, honestly, when you were like putting so much pressure on yourself when you turned 30, like you felt like that was a negative thing, like you were behind at life. That really did like low-key bother me, because I feel like you are superb.
So, is this an example of single women keep women single? Because again, if a woman wants a relationship where the man leads and she follows, that's definition, you're putting the guy first. So how are you expecting to find that type of relate? Look, I get it. I'm not gonna knock her because she said she was already. She said that her friend said that Tanisha was already on this journey of self-improvement. I would definitely say that's a good thing. But like I always say, guys, well, gentlemen, when women say that they're on a self-improvement track, or they're working on themselves, are they working on the things that men value? The reason I ask that is because most of the time it comes after like a bad breakup or something like that, or a toxic relationship, right? Okay, so are you working on things that the men that you want find valuable? Otherwise, aren't you just going to attract the same dude all over again? So, and she's sitting here telling her that, well, no, you need to focus on you, just do you. But, you know what? Let me keep going, because
woman, you have so much value. Anybody would be lucky and blessed to just have you as a partner overall, but just the pressure that you let society put on.
I hate when people say that. Anybody would be lucky enough to have you as a partner. she ain't looking for just anybody though. See, women tell each other that all the time, and that's just that's not accurate. You don't want just anybody. You're looking for she has a type that she is looking for, right? Now the question then becomes that the type of guy that you're looking for, are you his type? Again, a lot of times there's enough delusion to go around. Shout out to the Concur Network, because we were having I had an interesting conversation with that brother about both male and female delusion, particularly as it relates to our community and how we see each other. And yeah, there's enough delusion to go around. I think this is part of the female delusion. Is it's like, okay, well, any guy I can get with any guy I want. I got 1,000 options, right? You really don't. You have very few options for marriage, and the guy that you want. That's why I said for before is that, are you improving on the things that the man that you want, the type of man that you want, is it going to get you noticed by him? That's questionable. This whole thing will just do it for yourself. Okay. So that means that you're only interested in the guys who want you for you. But last time I checked, most of those guys, they get friend zoned. It's just my observation. I could be wrong about this stuff. Like I said, I'm not that special. I know that. I'm just a husband and a father who's on YouTube. But that logic that I just laid out there, that seems to work in my mind. So I don't know. They think differently, obviously, or at least, this lady thinks differently. So let's keep going.
On you, it's just like you turning 30. Like, girl, you glowing in real life. Like, you got it going on in real life. Anybody is just lucky to even be in your presence. Like, I'm blessed to have you as a friend. I'm honored to be on this journey with you. So just knowing like your true potential, you don't have to let society sway you any other way, or a relationship define you just as you as a woman, because you have the qualities you have. It's like, we can all look up to you. I look up to you. You inspire me on a daily.
Thank you.
I know I'm gonna try it.
Okay. I agree with that. And I think this is why I kind of wanted to shift my content, because I was getting so much. You get the trolls on the internet who get into your head, and then it changes how you feel about yourself. And I feel like I've been the hardest on myself since my platform has grown, because I'm being exposed to more people, and it just gets into your head when you already have intrusive thoughts or things like you said. So I agree with that. I told you guys what I said about her saying that I'm changing myself for a man. Like, are you changing yourself for a man? Respect my counselor so much. Black woman, like, really, really awesome. Like, she gives it to you real. We were talking about dating. I was like, I really just don't understand what's going on. I'm like, I feel like I'm working on myself. I'm doing all these great things. And I just, it's like, where is it going? Like, I'm just having bad experiences, or I'm not meeting anybody.
Insert my previous statement about the type of man when you self-improving, are you improving in the areas that the man that you want is interested in? So just a little explanation of that. We all heard this, right? Fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless. You need all 6 if you're looking for a high value man. There's no question. The Kevin Samuels talking point that's been done to death, right? But my channel is about average people. So what is the average man looking for? 3 to 4 out of the 6. The question then becomes, as a woman, you have to find out the man that you want, what 3 to 4 things does he value? And that's where the compatibility comes in. And that's why it's always a problem. It's the same thing on the other side of the equation when you talk about what women want, right? The average woman, what is she looking for? She's not looking for 666. Because despite what all these panels and stuff tell you, I don't believe that. Because number one, most women are not on YouTube. They're not. So the point is that you got to find the whole compatibility is an issue, because we're not really taking the time to get to know the other person before we have sex with them. This is why I say, man, you got to get to know it. That's why I say dating is dumb, especially if you're talking about marriage. If the point of dating is to get to know somebody, that's dumb, because you can get to know them over the phone, and you can find out relatively soon whether or not how many values that you have line up. My thing is that if there are more than, if there are a couple of values that line up, then yeah, let's go somewhere and hang out in person, and we could talk some more. But if we're on those initial phone conversations and it's not looking good, why would I want to take you anywhere? So, again, just to recap there, are you improving in the areas that the man that you want, your potential husband who you're looking for, the areas that you're improving in, is that what he's looking for in a woman? Are those the categories that are important to him?
And she was like, so are you only working on yourself to get a man? One thing she said was like, okay, so you like to travel, right? And I was like, yeah. She was like, so if you could just get up and buy a flight to Dubai, you think you'd be worried about half of the stuff that you worried about? Basically, she was saying, get on your shit and focus on yourself. Like, when you reach that point in your life where you can just get up and go whenever you want and achieve the things that you want, you're not going to be worried about the man turning 30, babies, this, that. So it's like, focus on yourself.
Like, you're going to attract so many people, and I know
I wonder if you ask the matriarch in a family, the grandmother or the great grandmother, if you asked her that question, if you ask her what gave her the most joy. Grandma, you like to travel? Yeah, I do. Okay, well, what gives you more joy? The family that you built, with you and granddad, or being able to travel when you want to? What y'all think she gonna say? What do you think the women who are the epitome of what these ladies are talking about, when they get to their 50s and 60s and they've been all these places? What happens when you have conversations about them and, the subject of children comes up? You think it's a sore topic? Because let's be honest here. We're on this channel, we're all about having children in the confines of a marriage. That's the best case scenario. So if you're not married, why are you having kids? Then that's another topic for another day. But it's an interesting question though, right? See, if you got, maybe one of the things, maybe we're not focusing on this the right way. Maybe maybe one of the things or perspective we need to start having is that why are we not having these conversations with men and women who are our seniors, who are older and have the things that we want? If you want to be married, why are we not talking to the older married couple? Shout out to Security Boss. Yeah, Unsolicited Security Boss. Go check out her channel.
You automatically already just attract beautiful people around you, but that's just, you're not gonna feel empty or you're missing out when you just are living your purpose on your terms, your way. People gonna get on your program. Like, you don't have to get on nobody's program though.
Yeah.
All right, tell me. Yeah, lay it on me, because I know I'm a work in progress, sis. Please keep me real.
Before we get to this, because I am interested to hear, but remember she said freedom. But okay, so if women, I don't think women really want that. I don't think they value it like that. At least those that want to be married. Because if that was the case, then why don't you go marry a man and you be the head of the household? You get all the freedom then. But how many women are actually looking to do that? Something to think about.
Hard. So Terry's like one of my favorite people. So I'm trying to think of something that I would give her.
Please, what I can work on and grow as a person.
I think that it would be good for you to reflect on, but then also great to hear about how a lot of your viewpoints are connected to possible traumas or things that you've seen as a child. Because I do think that, you're very strong in what you believe in. And I love how, just how firm you are in your beliefs, right? Like, you're not moving no matter what anybody said. Sometimes I wonder if some of the views you have, like what we were talking about, the whole submission thing, for example, is that rooted in something deeper? Like, is it something that we can uncover to figure out why you say a lot, but you don't say a lot? So it's like you say a lot about how you don't have sex and you talk about that journey, but I also feel like you don't reveal a lot of things about yourself to people.
That's real.
And so I guess just kind of tapping into like why that vulnerability is concerning for you, how you get to the point of just like really fully being your authentic self and truly blossoming in that role, and letting go of whatever is preventing you or concerning you to being that person in front of the world.
I want to get straight to the point. Like, I don't want to hear about like you on some real stuff. I don't know why. Like when I read a book and I'm like, I don't want to hear about your childhood. I want to hear about like the solution. Like give me strategic formats of like how I can go through this life. But I just want to go straight towards here's the solution.
You know what's interesting is that if that's what she's looking for, that's called structure. Usually when someone is looking for structure, they're usually looking for somebody else to provide it for, some kind of a guideline. And it's interesting because that's usually what happens in a marriage, right? To the right person anyway. You know, this is why a lot of women want a man who can lead, because it brings structure to their life. But it doesn't. But if you think about it here, remember what was said before about being free. See, at some point there's got to be some balance there, or at least some. I'm not sure, because I don't know. Like I said this earlier in the video, which is the real her? Like, which is the authentic version? And Tanisha even said it is that she doesn't reveal a lot about herself. So, I mean, we may never know. But if you are dating this young lady, you know, that might be some good questions to ask, you know, because those are figuring out. That's the equivalent to figuring out what are the 3 or 4 things that the guy is actually looking for in a wife. Is you got to figure out, okay, are you looking for structure or are you looking for freedom? Because it could go either way. I mean, you know, depending on the guy, one's a deal breaker, one's not. So we're almost done here, but let's go ahead and wrap this up, though. This is a great video so far.
Solution. Do this, you know.
I think people want solutions, but they also want to understand the person who's delivering that message.
These are the type of conversation we need to have. Like now I can see myself in a different light, so I can really what I can improve on overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely a great conversation. And like I said at the beginning, you know, women holding each other accountable. You know, if you'd have asked me about this last year, I'd have said, no, they don't do that. But clearly it happens and they're having these conversations. I hope they continue to have them, because the whole point is we have to break down these negative stereotypes to say, number one, women don't self-improve. Well, we know that's a lie because they both said the things that they're working on. Number two, women don't hold each other accountable. Again, another lie. We just said that. They're holding each other accountable by saying, okay, hey, you know what? You might need to work on these things here. So this is a great example. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Tanisha Talks, you don't want to subscribe to, fine. Go check out more of her videos because we definitely will be. So I'm going to say goes to the next time. Peace.